Others found themselves in civilian jails, where conditions were stark.
I was in a cell by myself the whole time. The cell was about 6 feet by 13 feet, with one small window above one's head so that you couldn't see out of it, except by standing on your stool, for which, of course, you might be punished if you were found doing it. In the door, there was a little spy hole with a cover on the outside so that the warder could come along and open the spy hole and spy on you at any time to see what you were up to, so that you had the sense of being watched the whole time, which gave you a very uncomfortable feeling at first until in time you grew indifferent to it. In the cell, there was a plank bed which was stood up against the wall during the day, put down at night with a mattress. For the first month, you were not allowed a mattress. You slept on the bare plank boards. At the end of a month, you were given a mattress. In addition, you had 2 or 3 blankets and a rough pillow. There was also a small table and stool, a chamber pot, a can for water, and a metal bowl in which to wash, a little shelf on which one kept one's knife, spoon and fork, a pot of salt, and any photographs which one was allowed to have in. One was normally permitted not to have more than 2 or 3 photographs, and they must be of members of one's family or close relatives.
It took great courage to go against the prevailing mood of a deferential, jingoistic society.
There was a bit of a riot when we arrived there, and a number of the fellows were smothered with mud and so on, that sort of thing. I was in the middle of it, but I didn't get anything at all. They must have thought I was the boss, I think, I don't know. Of course, they'd heard about COs, and who were COs, and they were going to take it out of them. You see, when we went out as individuals, the majority of them didn't know who we were. It was just when the crowd arrived on that one train, you see, and they apparently heard that we were coming, and that was that. We did have trouble for a week or 2 with young fellows and so on. I was with a group of 3, I think it was, when they started throwing stones at us. But we ultimately got round to talking to them, and they were quite different by the time we finished with them. I don't mean to say that they would agree with us necessarily, but they saw we'd got a point of view which wasn't quite as ridiculous as they thought it was originally.
I remember 2 or 3 of the COs at Princetown going up to the church for communion service and being stoned away. Sounds almost incredible, doesn't it? With the parson standing on a tombstone, flat tombstone. I won't say actually cheering them on, but at any rate encouraging them.